So I'm out here gonna attempt this winter stealth camping for a second time. And this time I got the bike. I'm gonna set up my tent. I got the sleeping bag. I'm gonna have a little fire, cook something up, and I'm gonna hopefully be able to make it out here through the night in the possibly single-digit temperatures. So we're gonna see how it goes. So I just finished setting up the tent. It took me a little bit longer than I would have liked it to, but it's up before dark nonetheless. And in my opinion, it's pretty fucking nice. Got my bags in there, got all my stuff in there right now. Bike right there. About to work on getting the fire going. So I got a pretty good fire going at this point. The conditions are actually almost perfect. It is gonna get very cold tonight, down into the teens, but there's almost no wind whatsoever. The smoke on this fire is going straight up. So I'm fairly confident that I'm gonna last out here all night. The only thing I gotta worry about is getting caught. You know, I'm only about a couple hundred yards from streets and houses in certain directions. So as long as I'm quiet and my fire is not too noticeable, I should be all right and in for a pretty nice night of camping out here. This ain't necessarily the best fire for cooking because there's not a whole lot of coals. I put a lot of big logs on here pretty quick, so there wasn't a lot of time to generate a big coal base, but I mean, I'm gonna make it work either way. And for dinner, I'm just cooking up some ramen. I got some jerky and some protein bars, nothing real fancy tonight. You know, I'm really more or less out here just to see if I can camp in these temperatures, see if my gear will hold up. So that's what's on the menu for tonight. All right, I'm in the tent now. I just changed into the clothes I'm gonna be sleeping in, which are all nice and warm and dry. I'm all bundled up. I got my sleeping bag, which is rated down to 20 degrees. And then I got the bivy sack, which I think will probably add on at least 10 degrees. And beyond that, I'm bundled up and I got a pad underneath. So I'm expecting to stay warm. I'm going to lay down, unwind a little bit, and hopefully not be up until the morning. So I made it through the night, 7:30 here. Not really looking forward to climbing out of the sleeping bag, but I'm about to get up, get some coffee going. So currently 10 degrees right now. Climbing out of that sleeping bag was a rude awakening. I'm actually doing some jumping jacks and kind of running in place to get my body temperature up. And at the same time, I got the coffee going. I don't know how long it's gonna take to boil water. You know, the fuel tank has been sitting out all night, well, sitting in the tent all night. Well, it looks like I'm getting a simmer going already, but I mean, coming out of that sleeping bag, man, that shit was fucking freezing. But I mean, it is what it is. You're cold when you wake up in a house anyway, so I'll talk more after I've had that coffee. As I got my second cup of coffee going, I'll say a few things about what I learned and about my experience
sleeping out here last night. My sleeping bag is rated at 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So it got down, at least it was 10 degrees Fahrenheit when I woke up. Now I have the bivy sack over it that probably added a few degrees, and I was also bundled up. With that being said, was I as warm as I could have been? Probably not. Was I warm enough to sleep? Yes. Now, am I going to go out and buy a new sleeping bag? No. And the reason being is that I'm going to be using the sleeping bag in different weather temperatures, different regions of the United States. So I need something that's going to be able to be good in cold weathers and be good in moderate weather as well. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to buy a liner that's going to add, some of them claim to add up to 15 degrees. So I'm going to buy a liner for that. And I think that 20 degree sleeping bag with a liner in a tent, bundled up, I think there's not going to be any amount of cold that I would experience that would be too much to sleep in. And then when it comes to the tent, there definitely was some condensation. You can't really see it, but there definitely was some condensation buildup, but nothing major. Another thing is your face gets cold. You know, my face was cold, so I was literally pulling my face in the mummy bag. And beyond that, I just feel pretty accomplished that I made it out here. It's about 8 o'clock. The sun is coming up over there slowly. The bike's still here. I heard some coyotes howling very loudly. It was pretty cool. One of the coyotes actually howled so loud that it woke me up at probably around 3 o'clock in the morning. It makes you wonder, where do they go in the daytime, you know? Because we don't have any caves or anything for them. Fire burned up. And yeah, after I have this cup of coffee, I'm packing up, which I'll see how long that takes and you know how well I can do that, and then heading back into to warmth. It'll feel really good to take a warm shower. That's another thing that's nice about doing this, is that once you get back into the warmth, it's gonna feel great. You know, nothing's gonna feel better than that shower after spending a night out here. All right, all packed up. I mean, all things considering, I think I got a pretty neat looking setup, but that's it. I got like literally 1 mile to ride to get home. I'd call this a success. So with that, I'm out.